Welcome to your one-stop shop for gaming, gadgets, technology, video games, comic books, anime, and anything else you can think of. It is the Geekspeak Report, Episode 6, here at Geekspeak.com, Part 3 of the Geekspeak Co-Host Challenge. Joining us today, fittingly enough for Episode 6, is number 6, Troy Mata. Here we are with Geekspeak Report, Episode 6. Hey there, everybody. My name is Ian Levinstein, and welcome to the Geekspeak Report. This is episode 6 of the Geekspeak Report, and this is the third Geekspeak Co-Host Challenge, and I'm joined by a guy who was on Geekspeak back when it was just plain old Geekspeak, and of course, it's Troy Mata, number 6 on the forums. Long time no speak, Troy. How you been?
Yeah, how appropriate, number 6 on the forums and on episode 6 of Geekspeak.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, Ian.
Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. It was fun, that one showcase spotlight we did. If I remember correctly, the reason I actually did a showcase spotlight on that one is because the people I had that were ready to go at the studio never showed up, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. Let me go home and just see who's willing to do a show. And there you were, and there was, I think it was Chris from Around Comics and a couple other guys just shooting the breeze.
Yeah, it was John Mayo and Chris Gallo, Webhead.
There you go.
We talked about genre television.
Oh yes, the good old
near
days.
Near and dear to my heart.
Yes, indeed, and we'll talk some television on this episode also. But
definitely.
Why don't you give people a little bit of your background in the world of geekdom, like how you first got started?
Well, my name is Troy Mata, and I'm number 6 on the Comic Geekspeak forums. And I guess I'm contestant number 3 with the Geekspeak Challenge.
Come on down.
Yeah, exactly. I guess getting started in comics, I obviously got started in comics first thing when I was a kid. My dad would drag me and my little brother to the swap meets and stuff. And, back then, of course, they weren't dollar comic books. They were 10-cent comic book drawer boxes. And just go through, get all the early 70s, late 60s Spider-Mans and Batmans, Brave and the Bold. Love the old Sergeant Rock stuff, all the war comics. And just started from there, and started, watching those Saturday morning cartoons and started watching all the great 80s science fiction television shows, late 70s, Battlestar Galactica, Space 1999. And just, really going from there, and Star Trek, Star Wars, and here I am, quite a few years later, officially a geek. So
it's like a drug, man. Before you know it, you're in, and you just can't break the habit. Yeah,
exactly. The TV and the film and the books, anime, manga, they all just kind of roll together, in all things that are geek. So I don't know, comics for me, the last couple of years, the whole Didio and Quesada stuff, everybody's just kind of messed up. So I'm kind of taking a break from comics at the moment. The money, even though DCBS is great and everything, the money, it's just not something that I want to go ahead and spend. So I'm taking a little break from that and really kind of focusing on manga and anime. Is it manga or manga? I don't know which one.
Manga is the correct term. Yeah.
I know you are at every anime fest within a 100-mile radius of New York, so I want to get it right.
Well,
I want to get it right.
And I'll be talking about one of them later on in the episode. But it is indeed manga and anime.
Yeah. So that's my, that's sort of my wheelhouse. I'm loving everything that Joss Whedon is doing. He can do no wrong at the moment for me. After the last 10 years, unfortunately, George Lucas seems to be lost. You've seen those T-shirts, the hand shot first, and Joss Whedon is my master now. I'm all behind those statements.
Well, at least he restored Han shooting first in the most recent cut.
Has he? I didn't know if he had broken down and finally done that.
Unlike the third redoing of it that he did, he finally reversed it and had Han shoot first, because that's the way it's supposed to be, man.
Is that the HD or the Blu-ray? I guess it is now.
I think it's the Blu-ray HDVD, whatever version came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good stuff. It always is. But we might as well start off with you here with the geek conversation, and from the things that you told me, why don't we start off with your WonderCon report?
Okay. Well, I was at WonderCon in end of February, and I flew out. I'm here in Phoenix, and I flew out to San Francisco. Met up with my friend Josh, who's a friend from long ways back. We used to read Watchmen comics in middle school together.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd be like, can I borrow your Watchmen comics? Because I didn't buy them. Oh, yeah, sure. Can you do my homework for me? Yeah, sure. So I was reading Watchmen while he was doing my homework for me. So, but met up with him. He lives there in San Francisco for the last 15 years and got there and just had a really great time. Last year we met up with all the guys from CGS West Coast, Atomic 99, Ralph, who else? Zalicious, Kid Benicia, Fade to Black, Chris Gallo. All those guys from the West Coast are just great. And Friday we went to the con and had a lot of fun, met up with everybody for dinner. And, of course, the big surprise was that Left Coast Love had gotten Brian to come out from CGS and visit and go to the con. And it was we just had a great time. Saw all the stuff for Iron Man. Got to see Justice League New Frontier, the premiere of that.
Oh, nice.
Got to, Jon Favreau was there for Iron Man. Saw that panel. Mm-hmm. Saw Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway from Get Smart. They showed some scenes.
Oh, cool. What'd you think of it, actually?
It looked pretty good. I was never, Get Smart was just a little bit before my time, TV watching wise, and I never really picked it up on reruns, and I don't usually watch TV Land, unfortunately. So, but it looked really good. Anne Hathaway is amazingly beautiful. So it's like, Anne Hathaway's going to be there. We'll go see that.
Well, so is The Rock. I mean, he's amazingly beautiful also.
Yes.
It's in a different way.
He had some funny scenes in it, too. He's playing a new character, one of the agents for Control. I can't, what's his name from, who's playing the chief?
The guy from Little Miss Sunshine.
Arkin, yes.
Yeah, Alan Arkin, there we go.
Yes. He's always amazing, so.
Oh, yeah.
And that was about it. It wasn't, I was really surprised, actually. Obviously they have, in San Francisco, they have cons that are anime and manga centric. Mm-hmm. I thought that they would have a little bit more dealer wise and panel wise, but they like Tokyo Pop, I think is actually based there in San Francisco. They didn't even. Yeah. They had a booth and they were selling manga and stuff, but they didn't have any anime. They didn't do any panels.
Interesting.
So that was a little bit disappointing.
Well, that might also be because there is the Los Angeles Con, the what is it, Anime Fest? I think. Well, no, not Anime Fest. Anime Expo. There we go. Anime Expo is out in Los Angeles. That is, I guess, like the huge West Coast anime con. So maybe they're just waiting up for that. Right.
Yeah. Definitely. It's and like Marvel doesn't come out there for it. DC was there. Didio was there. Mm-hmm. So I think it's growing very slowly. Mm-hmm. It used to be incredibly small, and they own Ape, and so they moved. Ape used to be part of Comic-Con. They'd have it like Tuesday, Wednesday before the con started on Thursday, mm-hmm. which, I don't know if anybody doesn't know, Ape is the alternative press expo where they have all the small. They actually moved that from Comic-Con up to where WonderCon is, and it's like a separate con. So they own Ape, they own WonderCon. Obviously, they own Comic-Con, and very slowly they're kind of ramping it up, having more. They moved it into the Moscone Center there in downtown San Francisco. They have more movie stuff from Hollywood now, so it's really a nice con. It's sort of like San Diego was 10 years ago.
I was about to say, yeah, from the way you're describing it, sort of if San Diego was still in its infancy.
Exactly. So I had a good time.
So this one, so WonderCon in general, it is mostly just comic book focused at this point. But from the way you're describing it, like maybe in the next couple of years, it might branch out a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. It's really that obviously San Diego's in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And they have the huge movie stuff the year before. Like Iron Man was like huge in San Diego last year.
Oh yeah, I was there when they premiered the first footage, which was amazing.
Right, and they had the Iron Man armor Mark II or Mark I or whatever it was. So they generate that buzz and everybody talks about it, of course, but then the movie opens in May. Indiana Jones opens in May.
Right.
And that's before the Comic-Con. So and WonderCon is always end of February, early March. So a lot of these studios are figuring out, let's get over to WonderCon because it's a major con. It's owned by the Comic-Con guys. Mm-hmm. Let's get our movie that's opening in 2 months or 3 months. Let's get everybody re-talking about our movie because it's coming out in 2 months and we need the buzz. We need people talking about it on the internet. So it really kind of fills that niche for the Hollywood types. And I think it's just going to get bigger, that beginning of summer push for all those movies that are coming out.
And it's funny that you mentioned that Marvel isn't there because I think it was literally a split between who was going to go to the East Coast and who was going to go to the West Coast because MegaCon was the weekend before WonderCon. Excuse me, MegaCon was the weekend after WonderCon. There we go, if I remember correctly. If I'm remembering this right, because I forget where Brian went first. I think he went to MegaCon first, and went to WonderCon first, and then he went to MegaCon. So WonderCon was first, if I remember correctly. That means that DC was out on the West Coast, and they handled that. And then with the East Coast, Joe Quesada came down to Orlando, while Dan DiDio stayed up in New York. So I guess that was literally the split. Like Marvel maybe said, okay, well let's have this be our con, even though they didn't really reveal anything. A lot of their guys were still there, while DC only had like some of the less major players down there, like some of the lesser editors were down there.
Yeah, and last year, of course, the New York Comic-Con was the week before WonderCon last year.
And you're going to have to worry about that all over again next year when it's back in February.
Yeah, I heard that they had pushed it back again or pushed it forward again from the April. Is it April that it's going to be in now this year?
It's April 18th to 20th, if memory serves me right.
Yeah, I know all the guys on CGS are pretty excited for it.
Yeah, so no, it's going to be great. But already the main issue with having cons, and I actually mentioned this on a little editorial that I did on the Comic Timing site. So if anybody wants to get into more depth there, they can check it out there. But just to go through it real quickly here, it's very hard to get space in New York since there's only one real convention center, and that's the Jacob Javits Center. And because New York Comic Con is so new, a lot of the previous people who would be getting stuff at the Javits Center get first dibs. So they get the dates before New York Comic Con can. So they literally get the leftover dates, which is not really that good for when you're planning a huge convention. So that's why it's going from April to February. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it won't snow over there on you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty damn cold last year, and I still have the aftershocks from it every now and then. But yeah,
it's funny. I was watching an old episode of The Equalizer. Do you remember that show? I don't know if you're old enough for. It
sounds vaguely vaguely familiar, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Sort of like an A-Team, but it's the one guy based in New York. Mm-hmm. He was a British guy, and the episode I was watching, the bad guys, they'd kidnapped somebody, and so they had set up the exchange on the docks, and it was they were building the Javits Center and they were used that as the meeting place to do the exchange. Oh, nice. And I'm like, and they had the sign like coming soon, Jacob Javits Center and everything. I'm like, oh, it's the Jacob Javits Center. Build it bigger for the New York Comic Con. I'm yelling at the TV.
Please. and don't even get me started on building it bigger because we tried to. But recent plans got shut down, and at least we're hopefully going to get an extension of the trains to run out to the Javits Center because you got to walk 4 avenues over to the Javits Center. It's the biggest pain in the ass in New York.
Yeah, I heard that the Garden, didn't they pull out of that big? I thought that was supposed to be a big convention center.
Well, the Madison Square Garden is more for like the sports and stuff, so that's why they don't usually end up doing stuff for conventions. I know what you're talking about though. The original plans were to have Madison Square Garden move across the street, but now they're going to stick with the Garden being where it is, and they're just going to like almost rebuild it from the inside, similar to how they fixed Yankee Stadium back in the 70s.
Right.
So,
Yeah, they fix it so well that they are building a new one now.
Yeah. Well,
Don't get me started on the Yankees. I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. I don't know if you know that or not.
And as a diehard Yankee fan, I won't interrogate you. Don't worry about it.
we'll just decide to leave that argument aside for another time.
That'll be perfectly fine. I can move on to the convention that I went to recently, and that's one in Boston, of all things. Coincidence of coincidences.
That's a good segue.
Yeah, and Anime Boston 2008 just happened, and it was an interesting convention. That's the best way to put it. I don't know if you heard about this, but it's a good thing I had a press pass because there were some people that had to wait 10 hours on the registration line just to get their badges.
Wow.
Yeah. They had a new system this year where they were doing like a self-check-in where you could go to a kiosk and put in your information, and then you just get your badge printed right there. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. You had 10,000 people waiting to get their badges all at the same time with 4 computers, 4 kiosks set up.
That was it?
Yeah, that's it. 4 kiosks. And,
wow.
And that would explain why people had to wait so freaking long. It was bad, but I mean, lucky enough, I had to pull some strings when I got there because I had a friend that didn't pre-reg that was waiting there. I had a press pass, obviously, just because of the podcast, and my girlfriend also, she got her stuff covered. But one of the people that was rooming with us, our friend Jenny, she didn't have a pass. So I had to go up there and be like, "Oh yes, my co-host. I didn't know she was coming. Could you please just pick us up, please? Hello, please." And they're like, "Yeah, fine, yeah, whatever." So they gave her the pass, and we didn't have to wait 8 hours for her, which is definitely a plus.
Was it a large? How large is it? I mean, compared to other conventions,
it's not nearly as big as certainly not nearly as big as a San Diego. That much I'll say. It's also not nearly as big as, I don't know if you've heard of Otakon, the Baltimore convention.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
That's the biggest one on the East Coast. Boston would be the biggest one in New England. So that portion of the East Coast. So I'd say there's about, this year they said they got about 14,000 people showing up, and the convention center is a decent size for that amount of people. But usually they get the adjoining hotel. There literally is a hotel that's that's adjoined to the convention center, which is a Sheraton hotel, to have some of the events in, like the dance and the registration usually happen there, as well as the video game room. This year, the Sheraton was double booked, so they couldn't actually have any events inside the Sheraton, and that's the reason why this happened. So it was a bit of a jury rigging situation, but the convention center itself is pretty decently sized, just not that many rooms to go with the size, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. So once you got in, was it a good convention, or? Oh
yeah, no, it was fun. There were a decent amount of fan panels, which is what I like to see. I usually go to conventions for fan panels versus at least anime conventions for fan panels, as opposed to the industry panels I usually go to for comic conventions. So this was good for that. I had a couple of friends that were doing some panels that I went to. I went to one panel in particular, which it looked interesting, but was a bit jumbled when I got in there. But what are you going to do? It was called Cosplay Court. Now, what this was there were people in cosplay, which for people who don't know, that's just people in costumes, simple as that, of their favorite characters, and they were holding a court where you'd be able to go up there and actually present cases against other characters.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, which is a take on another panel which is done at other conventions, which I'm more familiar with, called Anime Parliament. And the way that he does it is it's one case at a time. This one had about 10 to 20 characters up there at once, and it was a little hard to follow. Not my favorite thing, so I walked out there after a little while. But there were some panels, one of which that I'm sure you would have enjoyed, called Totally Subversive Tunes, which a friend of mine who does another panel called Bad Anime Bad, which literally is the worst anime he can find. He finds anime that no human being should watch, and then he makes you watch it.
Yeah, I think I've sat through a couple of those.
The one that's our favorite to watch is I think Protectors of Universe. That's the name. Protectors of Universe. Great grammar there, right?
I just love, it's like seeing the like fake toys and stuff like that, where it's like from Mexico or China, and
right.
It's their copyright stuff, and it's just like, oh my God, that's so horrible. I cannot believe that's you can buy that type of stuff. Well, it's the same thing with the anime.
The only reason to go to well, not the only reason to go to the panel. The only reason to watch this anime is it's got one scene in it that is probably the best scene I've ever seen in an anime, which is hilarious for a bad anime because it's almost like a wish fulfillment. Have you ever watched a mech anime or any sort of mech thing and just wondered, I wonder what would happen if the mech just punched through the window?
That the person in the cockpit, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Or oh,
yeah.
I guess.
And it finally happens. This one guy is just sitting in his mech, minding his own business in the cockpit when another mech, the main mech of the series, just punches directly through the cockpit. And I'm like, finally. Because that's the easiest way to get rid of your enemy right there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like on Robotech and stuff, the VF fighters that were the old was it the F-16s and stuff with the chest was the actual cockpit. All you had to do was I never even thought about that. I mean, I guess they did have some armor that came over, but still you're right there front and center in the center body of the mech. I guess it makes sense. That's pretty funny.
And I'll form the head.
Yeah.
But I ran a panel there because that's something that I like to do at anime conventions also. The Adult Swim Revolution panel where we just basically go through a bunch of Adult Swim stuff and talk about it, do our favorites and our not so favorites, and take audience questions. And we managed to get the full room full. About must have been about 300 or 400 people in the room, which was nice to see. But
nice.
Oh yeah, no, it's great when we're able to get stuff like that because we love going against the masquerade. And the masquerade, as you know, just from going to comic conventions, is usually like the thing that most people try to go to.
Right.
More so at anime conventions than comic conventions. But what's great about that is that everybody who goes to masquerade obviously can't go to our panel. So we get all the stalwarts, all the crazies that don't want to go to masquerade, that are just into like anything. And those are the guys that we usually get. So it's like it's us or nobody.
It sounds nice. Now, I would assume that the community is pretty tight-knit. Is that how the fans, are in charge of these panels? I mean, how does that work exactly? Well, I mean, I'm used to San Diego Comic-Con where it's very, not corporate, but they are the ones who handle the panels, and they are the ones that everything is set up, and it's not really fan-driven. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about this, it seems really interesting to me that the fans are like the ones in charge.
Right. Well, the way it works is similar to San Diego Comic-Con because this does happen from time to time with that. Not nearly as much as with other smaller conventions, but there'll be the industry stuff like you mentioned. In fact, this year they actually didn't know how many industry panels they were going to have, so a lot of the panels ended up waitlisted. What that did is that my panel actually didn't end up in the program book. It ended up on the schedule that was distributed at the con, but didn't end up in the program book, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. But what are you going to do?
But you still had a good turnout.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. What happens is at anime conventions, it's more run by the fans, just like San Diego was at the start. It still is in many ways run by the fans, where there will be a head of panels. You submit your idea to the head of panels. He then creates a schedule, and if you're on it, that's great. And if not, then so be it. And that's the way it goes. So there'll be a set amount of fan panels to go with the set amount of industry panels, and you go from there.
And you've been doing this for a while now, so you're kind of known, and he knows how to run a panel, and everybody likes it, and that type of thing. So you kind of maybe get a little bit of, it's Ian, so he's definitely in.
More so at Anime Next and Anime Boston, because Anime Next I actually do about 4 or 5 panels, while at Anime Boston I usually only do 1 or 2. And with both of these, I wouldn't even be in panels right now if not for originally just my friend, now my girlfriend Chris, who got me into the whole panel scene in the first place. Long before we were dating, we were doing panels together, which is kind of cool. And that's just the way it went. But
your eyes connected over the microphones of the panel with anime bosses.
Please. No, it was more like the person who was running panels went to Japan, and she was basically just like, "Hey, you can talk. You want to be on the panel with me?" I'm like, "Okay." so that's the way it went, and we've been doing panels together ever since, really.
Geek love, it's the best.
Oh, yeah, you know it. Yeah, I mean, all in all, the convention was fun. I ended up spending a lot of it in the room, mostly because I had buddies there that I knew were going to be there, so we ended up going to the room and connecting a portable DVD player and watching the entire second season of Frisky Dingo, which is one of my favorite Adult Swim shows. You ever watch Frisky Dingo?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
It's a superhero show, and that's why I like it. I assume you've heard of C-Lab 2021 before?
Yes.
Okay, this is from the guys who did that.
Oh, okay.
And what it is, it's about it starts off about this one supervillain named Killface, who is trying to destroy the world with his Annihilatrix. Yes, it's actually called the Annihilatrix. And and it starts off with him basically just like trying to like get the word out there, like, hey, I want to get some like press behind the Annihilatrix that people knows it exists, and I need an arch enemy also. So he goes with Awesome X. You know how like Batman is still out there because like his mission isn't really done?
Right.
His mission was done a long time ago. His parents died. He caught the people who killed his parents, and now he just does it for the hell of it.
Yeah, it's fun,
Yeah, and he's such a pompous ass. It's great, and that's
does
why
he have a
So
sidekick?
no, he doesn't have a sidekick, but he does have the Exticles, which are these men in armor that fight on his almost like the Shield helicarrier. That's the sort of thing that he has, and that's his group of people that he works with, and it goes from there. It's a type of show where once you get into it, it's hard to stop watching it. And it's fun. It's very fun and funny. So if you like a nice parody take on superheroes, that's something to look for.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, but all in all, I give the con maybe a 3 out of 5. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's just that it wasn't run nearly as well as I was expecting it to be run. But that'll hopefully be changed next year because they're back to having the Sheraton as their main hotel, if I remember correctly. So they'll actually be able to move things back into the Sheraton that were there the year before, so they don't have to worry about having the same problems with registration again. So that'll be nice.
Yeah, I've done a lot of geek stuff, gone to the Star Trek conventions, gone to San Diego for 10 years in a row, gone to WonderCon. And that's like the next thing is to try and hit an anime convention either here. They don't really have them here in Phoenix. I think there's one or two, but I want to go to, if I'm going to go and spend the money and spend the time, I want to go to like the biggest one. Right. So probably the one in LA. East Coast is kind of out of the question for me. So probably the one in LA, or hopefully
there's one in Atlanta if that's anywhere closer to you.
Not too much. Not too much. It'd either have to be in San Diego, LA, or San Francisco. Gotcha. And obviously San Francisco, I think there's a lot of companies that are based there, and I just need to do the research and kind of find out what the con is over there and start making plans to go, because all this stuff is really, the last year and a half has just really interested me, and I've watched a lot more stuff lately. So that's the next big thing.
I forgot to mention, actually, I actually got to meet Tim the Tiki over there, the Freaky Tiki on the forums. Because he actually got in because of his he got in to hang out for a while, and he was only there for about half a day, but we were able to catch lunch, which was nice, and so we sat down in a Chinese food place nearby and just hung out, and he got to meet a friend of mine who's very shy around new people, so at one point he turns to her and goes, just so I know, are you mute or do you just not talk?
It's always nice to meet up with people from CGS, from the forums and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and he's a wonderful guy in person, and I'll get to see him again at New York Comic Con, which will be nice. But Tim's a great guy, and that was actually one of the highlights of the con there. That, and also on the last day, on Sunday, we went to an expensive sushi place, which was nice because we were like the only people in there for lunch. So it was like two other people, and it was a place called Haru. There are many locations all over the place. We get there, and our waiter, who's Japanese but speaks, fluent English with a Boston accent and everything, turns to us and goes, so what's going on today? I see all these, like, costumes and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's an anime convention. He's like, oh, well, that explains why there's so many freaking Naruto costumes. and right away, we turn to him and go, you, sir, just won your tip.
Not a fan is it Naruto?
No,
Naruto?
Naruto or Naruto, either one. They're just it's just one of those animes that just never ends.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, for the people who love it, that's the best part about it, is it never ends.
Yeah. Well, but
you're a Bleach fan too, right?
I am a Bleach fan, and actually, well, this will segue into, I guess, the next thing you wanted to talk about. You wanted some recommendations?
Yes, definitely. Now, I've been watching Naruto the last year and a half on Cartoon Network. I don't really get the DVDs. Same thing with Bleach. I think Bleach is up to 55.
Something like that.
So, yeah, I'd heard. I don't know which episode are you?
I'm not too far from there. I actually watched up to about episode maybe 61 or 62, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I watched until the end of the story arc, because after this story arc ends is the filler arc.
Right.
Which has nothing to do with the manga and is regarded as Drech. But I'm probably going to sit through it and watch it anyway, because I like to torture myself.
Yeah, that's kind of how I got started, was watching the stuff on. Let me do a quick history of my anime watching, which started in the 80s with Robotech, and I guess you could even say maybe a little bit of Speed Racer when I was a little kid in the 70s, but it was really Robotech that kind of got me into the whole thing. And Akira, of course. I mean, I saw, you hear about Akira in art houses in the theaters in the 80s and stuff, and I don't think I've ever met anybody else who's actually seen it in the theater when it came out originally in the art house run. I was one of those people sitting there, I don't even think it was subtitled. It was just, yeah, we're showing this and it's in Japanese, and sorry. And you sat down and you watched it, and I had the video that was not subtitled or dubbed, and we watched it 100 times trying to figure out what they were saying. And Epic came out with the comic, and it's like it's the same but it's different, which was the manga, and it's like I don't understand,
right.
Which of course, like now that's like the main thing. It's everybody does that. So
sure, yeah.
And then the 90s, I think I just got a little bit stung with so much. A lot of those companies were just putting stuff out, and the dubs were horrible. Ooh. And the subtitles were horrible, and a lot of the anime was horrible, and it just like, okay, and it was so expensive back then. I don't know if it's expensive now, but it was so expensive back then.
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I mean, there was a reason why, even after they started coming out on DVD, I was still getting Chinatown bootlegs.
Right. So it was just, I really want to do this, and I really want to see this and be a part of this, but it just costs too much money, and it costs too much time slogging through all the direct trying to find the best stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I even went to Japan in '99 to Tokyo, and I was in the countryside for a few weeks and just totally immersed myself, and it was amazing, and it was great. And I had no idea what was going on half the time. So, I came back, and it's like, okay, I really need to figure stuff out. And that was, 99, early 2000s when, Tokyo Pop started. You'd go to the what is it, Kinokuniya in San Francisco?
Kiyomiya, yeah, because there's actually a Kiyomiya here in New York that I frequent on a regular basis.
And that, just going to those stores, and you're like, okay, there's so much stuff, and you just gotta to do it. And thankfully, Cartoon Network with Toonami just started showing the stuff, and you got the DVR and the VCRs, and it's like, if I can't be there, then I can record it and watch it all. And I think for me, it really started back up with Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, yes.
That's
most people's gateway drug.
Exactly. It's like you sit down and you're watching it, And the music by was it Kano who did the music?
Yoko Kano, yeah.
Yeah. I guess my big secret that I'm going to reveal here on the show is that I like the dubbed mostly of a lot of anime.
That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like a big, because a lot of people are like, you need to listen to it in Japan, you need to watch it in Japanese, and you need to read the subtitles. Oh my God, it's so horrible with the American voice actors, and they don't know the characters' motivations and stuff, and all this stuff. And I think it's a lot better than it used to be back in the day.
Right, and that's why it's okay. Because actually, I think it all began really with Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing was the first anime that really proved that if you put good production behind an American version, or at least an English version of an anime, that you will be able to make wonderful music almost. Like it was music to my ears hearing those voice actors, because they sounded like the characters, they sounded like they knew what they were talking about, and it wasn't just one guy voicing everything or two people voicing everything and going, whoa, look at that!
Yeah.
It wasn't over the top. It felt just like normal. And Cowboy Bebop obviously was the next one to do that, and then from there, it's just like things just kept on getting better and better, and now there are a lot of dubs that I can just listen to now.
I think that's what it is. It's not Pokemon, and it's not, Yu-Gi-Oh! and those type of things that are kind of kid-centric, that 4 to 12-year-old. Obviously Cowboy Bebop is meant for an older audience.
Sure.
And it shows. It definitely shows. Amazing, amazing anime. And from there, Naruto's a little bit sort of, it's funny, and I try and watch it. Bleach is amazing, I think. The last few episodes that I've seen that they've shown on Cartoon Network have been perfect. And some of them are funny.
What I like, and actually here's something that you don't see every day. Both the subtitles and the translation of the manga got the episode where Chad is running around with the bird in the cage. They said parakeet in the translations, even though it was obviously a cockatiel. And in the dub, they say cockatiel. So that proves that at least somebody's paying attention in that dub studio, because both the subtitles and the manga say parakeet. I know my birds. What can I say? But what other ones are you into?
I'm really into some of the comedy ones, like Azumanga Daioh.
Oh, sure.
I love Stelvia. I just finished. Is it Planetes? Do you know? Are you familiar with that one?
Not familiar with that one. No.
That one's pretty good. It's a near space, the debris retrieval squad.
Oh.
And it's really interesting. What else? The My Hime stuff I watched. All the Beck, the Mongolian Chop Squad. I love that one. Welcome to the NHK. I think
that's one I need to watch. Yeah, I've heard great things about it.
The Canon. Have you seen that Conan?
I believe it's actually Conan, and haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've seen the first couple of those. Fruits Basket, of course. I don't know if you want to make fun of me about that.
No.
About that one.
I won't make fun of you about it, because I saw the anime and I actually really enjoyed it. I haven't read the manga. I bought one issue of it when it first started coming out, and I never actually picked it up. I never even read it, actually. I was just lost interest. But no, I mean, the anime from what I saw was pretty good. So to each their own.
Yeah, that one. I've been so interested in all aspects, all genres of, it's just like watching regular movies. It's not, okay, they have the space one and that's all that anime is, like space science fiction. No, it's just like watching any genre of film. They have any genre of anime, and you just fall into it, and it's so easy to see a couple episodes and kind of go, okay, this is how this one is, and I can very easily sit there and watch all of them.
Right.
Or I can go, you know what, this isn't really my cup of tea, so I'm just going to not. I saw the first couple episodes and I know what it's about, not my cup of tea, so I'm done. I think the other only big one that I totally fell in love with was Genshiken.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorites, so right in the same wheelbox there. I can't wait for Season 2 to come out here in America.
Are they making a season 2?
Season 2 is made. It's over. It's
my goodness.
Season 2 should actually be starting to come over here, I believe, by September. And
you just made my month. You just made my month right there. I cannot believe.
And there's also I'm not sure whether or not these are going to be easily accessible otherwise, but you might want to try and rent once it starts coming out the Kujibuki Unbalance anime. They actually made an anime out of the fake anime inside Genshiken.
That's great. I mean, that was one of the things that I wanted to ask you too about Genshiken is. Right. Because I think they even did one whole episode or like 15 minutes.
They did, yeah. They did full episodes of Kujibuki Unbalance. The series that they made, though, is almost it's a real version. Like, it's not parody whatsoever. It's just like a straight version of an anime. But included on all 3 discs of Kujibuki Unbalance is one episode apiece of Genshiken.
That's great.
So they had 3 OVAs that were made of Genshiken that were exclusive to the DVDs of Kujibuki Unbalance, meaning that Season 2 picks up after those OVAs. So if you can't find Kujibuki Unbalance, just let me know, and I'll see if I can get it out? To you. I believe the first volume might be out here in America. If not, it is coming out in America.
Okay. I'll definitely look for those. I just actually finished the manga for Genshiken too, so...
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and Genshiken's great finish to it, and like I said, I was very happy to hear that that the anime is continuing and that all's well with that. So even it doesn't even end with season 2. So like I mean, they don't finish the story of Genshiken in season 2. So it's very possible there might even be a 3rd season.
That's great.
So we don't know how far this is going to go yet.
That's great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. That's great.
Okay, then let me give you some recommendations then, because
great.
This is I assume you're near the end of your list anyway.
There's a few other ones. The Best Student Council, which I really loved. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh yes, great stuff.
Love that one. I'm just going to go through some of the stuff I rented. I watched all the Love Hina stuff, the Please Twins stuff, Freedom, which is one that's set on the moon, was really good. I watched all the Negima stuff, the magic one. Negima.
Yeah.
Okay. Watched all those. See some of the Girls Bravo stuff I watched. I didn't finish any of that. Didn't finish it, though. Strawberry Marshmallow is another one that is amazingly hilarious.
Yeah.
A 3-disc series. I can't recommend that one enough for people. So I think that's about it. What do you got for me?
Okay. There's one anime where a kid, like a teenager, wakes up and he has a girl for a hand.
Midori Days.
Yes, there we go. Midori Days.
That's what it's called.
Thank you.
I've seen the first one. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. However, it's slapstick comedy all the way throughout.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice old-fashioned comedy. I know you said you saw Please Twins. Did you see Please Teacher?
Yes, I have seen that one.
Okay, just making sure, because that's what got me into Please Twins. It's Onegai Teacher and Onegai Twins in Japan, but that's only because Onegai means please in Japan. As simple as that. Samurai Champloo?
I've seen a few of those episodes on Toonami. Obviously, it's the same guys who did Cowboy Bebop, right?
Right. That's another reason why I'm mentioning it, because you say how much you enjoy that. There's another one that the Bebop guys did called Wolf's Rain. And Wolf's Rain is a beautiful story. It's actually about a world where there aren't that many wolves left. And wolves are sort of like the outcasts of society in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is close to ending. And the wolves are trying to make it to paradise before that happens. And it can be a little depressing at times, but at the same time, it's a gorgeous story and beautifully done art. And the music is also done by Yoko Kanno, so it's fantastic. And it's just definitely something that you should watch if you're into almost like the drama type things. And it's another one also where the dub is great.
Right.
So,
is there a sequence in the snow?
I think there might be. Yeah, there is, yeah.
Because I might have seen part of it. It's we have this. I have the Stars network part on my pay for the cable or DirecTV, whatever it is, and they do anime stuff on one of their. And I think I might have caught it.
Okay.
are part of it, but I'll have to actually add that to my Netflix because I can't remember.
Start from the beginning and work your way through it. It's definitely one where you can just sit down and burn through it, and you'll be very happy you did. Another one, if you're into the horror genre at all, Hellsing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hellsing is there's two separate ones. There's the Hellsing anime, which for about 7 or 8 episodes follows the story of the manga and then goes off onto its own story, which is certainly not nearly as good as the first couple of episodes, but I'd still say it's worth watching just to get the basic idea of Hellsing. But what does do it justice is the Hellsing OVA, which is coming out now, called Hellsing Ultimate. And this is the straight story of the a manga told in multiple OVAs. And what the story of Hellsing is there is a organization in England called the Hellsing Organization that tracks down vampires and kills them. And their agent is a vampire himself who is out there to try and get rid of these pale imitations of vampires that are running around. Because there are people actually engineering vampires. And
that's when it's been around for a while, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it has. And in fact, the anime has been around for a while. The Ultimate has just started. So I believe there's 3 of them out right now. But again, like I said, the Ultimate follows the manga story perfectly. So that's another manga that you might be interested in, because I think there's about 8 volumes out of it so far. And it's beautifully done. It's great stuff. It's one of my favorites. And it's another one where I actually prefer the dub over the sub of this one, because the dub has English voice actors.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So you actually get a feel that you're in England as opposed to Japanese people trying to pretend they're English.
Right.
Which doesn't really work. And let's see, a couple more. I'm thinking of Fate Stay Night. Fate Stay Night was based on a visual novel in Japan, and it's about a guy who gets thrown into the race for the Holy Grail.
Wow.
And he gets a conjuring of this girl called Saber, which helps him out in the fights. She's basically his protector. Whoever is last alive gets the Grail. And obviously, he doesn't want anything to do with this. He doesn't want to have to kill people, but whether he likes it or not, he's involved. And
he's part of it.
Yeah, he's part of it. It's another. I think it's about 13 episodes, so it's not that hard to get through. And it's nice. It's a nice fantasy genre type thing that reminds me a little bit of like the Final Fantasies. Because, like I said, it was based on a visual novel in Japan.
Definitely adding all these to my queue. So on Netflix,
sweet.
That's the I think it was really the Miyazaki stuff, like in the late '90s, that kind of got me through. I love all of his stuff, also. So that's something to consider when throwing out the recommendations.
Have you seen Death Note?
I have not seen it. I know that it's showing on Cartoon Network, and I had a bunch of them on my DVR, and I just hadn't gotten around to watching them. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'll just wait. I mean, I know they're all out on or coming out on DVD, or they're out on DVD.
Yeah.
So I can just, wait till 4 or 5 of them are out and then just stick it on my Netflix queue and be able to watch them one right after the other.
Yeah. I think the third volume – wait, is the third? No, the fourth volume comes out, I believe, in late April. And then the 5th volume comes out in July. So that's not too bad. You'll have about 20 episodes at that point.
Yeah, one of the vendors at WonderCon was selling – they had stacks of Death Note notebooks, blank notebooks that you could write in. Yeah. I was like, that's great. You can have your own Death Note notebook.
Well, my favorite part of Death Note is that literally absolutely nothing happens. And yet you are so intrigued that even though you're going back and forth between a shot of light and a shot of L and a shot of light and a shot of L, back and forth without any action going on, you're involved. It's
right.
Like you cannot look away. And it's the only anime that I've watched that manages to pull that off successfully.
It's just the art of Japanese storytelling, It's just a little bit off from what we're normally used to, but I think the whole thing has just been so huge the last couple of years that, I mean, I can't imagine what it's like growing up, be like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years old and being exposed to this stuff and being able to watch it and understand it.
Right.
it's going to be a whole different genre future.
Oh, please.
With all these kids who are growing up on this stuff and are going to be the writers and the artists, and it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Well, when you go to an artist alley at an anime con, you'll be amazed. Because, I mean, there's some great people out there. There's some crappy people, just like anything. But there's a lot of creative people out there making a lot of creative stuff already, and it's just going to keep on coming. Plenty of people like me started, like, when they were young, watching Sailor Moon at 6:30 on WB11, and just and then just going from there and getting into the genre. So that's definitely a plus. Have you ever seen Escaflowne?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not, actually.
Escaflowne might be right up your alley if you're into the Miyazaki-type things, because it's another one of those fantasy genre things about a kid transported into a world and becomes their savior, so on and so forth. The typical idea, really. And it goes from there. It's a really hard one to explain, but I'd actually recommend maybe looking up the summary for it online just to get a basic idea of it. When I watched it straight through. I got very involved in it. And there's also a movie that manages to take the entire 26 episodes and just combine it into like a 2.5 hour movie, which is kind of interesting to say the least.
So that it has this. I always have seen that one, and it's like, okay, wow, they've got like a lot of episodes, and there's it's OVAs or OAVs? OVA.
It can say either way, actually, but we usually go by OVA.
So, it's kind of hard, like, which one do I start with? And, you know what, I'll just get this one instead.
Yeah, the OVA is the movie thing that I mentioned, which is basically just the entire story in about 2.5 hours. The series is something you should probably watch first, because then you'll get a better appreciation for the OVA, because you'll understand, like, what they took and what they didn't.
Do they have more than one series, or is it just the one? Because I know, like, a bunch of them have, like, 2 or 3 different series, and that in itself is confusing. Like, I've always confused that one with is it Evangelion one?
Yes. And oh my God, are they 2 different things?
Right. So, and that's something I didn't know. I was like, okay, is that the same thing? And then there's Gundam, which I'm sure I could get into, but they have like all the different ones, and it's like, just
watch Gundam Wing, and if you can, the first series, not any other farther than that, because a lot of the other ones are not that good. But Gundam Seed, the first Gundam Seed, is pretty damn good, also.
Yeah, I think those are those like huge, heavy ones. I assume they're sort of on the heavy side. I think that's my summer. That's kind of my summer reading. It's like, let's get all those and sit down and have some time off and really focus and really watch all of those major ones that everybody knows, and everybody talks about, and all the cosplay people dress up as them, and you walk around going, I don't know what that is, and I don't know who, and definitely something I have to look up.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend watching Inuyasha just because it wasn't my cup of tea. However, if you do want to know one of the like big sensation ones, maybe you'll have a different opinion about it than I did. But Inuyasha is just generic anime number 4 in my opinion. It's like it's like take the plot of a girl with a crazy looking demon thing that has a tail and bunny ears and can transform into a human and just go from there. It's like it's almost like the Ranma ideal, which I like Ranma, but Inuyasha just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, the animal changing into human, or the robot made genre and all of that. You gotta pick and choose. And I have 2 more that I'll give before we move on. Okay.
One of the most depressing things I've ever watched, even more so than a hell of a lot more so than Wolf's Rain, because oh my God, is this depressing?
Grave of the Fireflies?
Nope. It's called Now and Then Here and There.
Now and Then Here and There. I have not heard of that one.
Now and Then Here and There is a similar situation to like an Escaflowne, where a kid gets transported, but this guy gets transported into the far future, and it's a dystopian future. Like, everything's messed up. He has to try and save the last source of water, and the last source of water is actually this almost like this water spirit in the form of a girl that he needs to save. And the evil dictator of this world, I swear to God, looks like he could be Ringo Starr. He's got almost that look to him, like old like Beatles Ringo Starr look to him, and he is out of his freaking mind and does crazy shit that's just like, out there that you would not believe, and it gets really messed up. But it's serious and it's good.
Sounds interesting.
And the other one I'm going to mention is His and Her Circumstance. This one is done by the guys who did Evangelion. However, it's certainly nothing like Evangelion whatsoever. It is a love story. And it's about these two very, very good students that fall in love and what they have to go through in order to keep their relationship, because both the school, well, actually more the school than their parents, a hell of a lot more than the school. The school thinks that if they become a couple, their grades are going to go down and they're going to start looking bad. So this is a very, very, very Japanese show. You understand what the social connotations of Japan can be at times. What's interesting about the show also is they run out of budget at some point, and they actually have one episode that's entirely with little standees.
Oh my goodness!
Yep,
that's great.
Yeah. So
well, I'm adding those last two here to my Netflix queue right now.
Excellent. Yeah. So that's those are a bunch for you right there. And for manga, I'll go through it real quickly here because there aren't that many I'm going to recommend. Because I don't read that much manga, but I do read enough. I'm reading Full Metal Alchemist right now, and the Full Metal Alchemist manga is a lot better than the Full Metal Alchemist show, because just like Hellsing, halfway through they go with their own story in the anime.
Right.
With the manga's a lot less depressing, a lot less, okay, I'll say it, emo, and just a hell of a lot more fun. So that's why I'll definitely recommend Full Metal Alchemist. If you can take it out of the library or pick up a couple copies, you can. The Bleach manga is damn good. You avoid all of the filler episodes of the anime by going straight to the manga. The Hellsing manga, like I said before, is as good as and better than the actual series, so I'll go with that. Monster is a great one. Monster is a drama. It's almost like 24 meets ER, which is the best way to put it, because you got a doctor who's searching for a kid that he saved over a businessman, and it turns out that the kid is a serial killer.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really, really deep, and obviously the Death Note manga, because, well, it's Death Note.
Yeah, all of those I have not read. Usually the ones that I read are the anime that I really, really like Genshiken. Right. Where it's like, oh, they've got the mangas. Usually the anime ends at a certain point, but the manga keeps on going, which is great because it's like, oh, I get to see what else has happened. With Genshiken, it finished at a certain point and a couple people graduated, but there's like 5 more books on Genshiken, which I guess will be the second series, the second season. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones I usually read. I've been very slowly kind of branching out, but not too much. The one that I'm reading now, which I cannot recommend enough, is Yotsuba. And it's by the same guy who did Azumanga Daioh. And I think it's about 5 or 6 books, and it is the best series I've ever read. It is hilarious. I'm reading, you cannot stop laughing. Everyone I've given it to or let borrow loves it, and just waiting with bated breath for the next volume to come out. I don't think there's a plan. That's one of the questions I wanted to ask you is hopefully there's a plan to anime, but I think...
Yotsuba. I haven't heard anything, but if I do, I'll make sure to let you know.
Yeah, definitely, because it's an amazing book. Amazing book. I can't recommend it enough to everybody out there. I guess I didn't say what it was about. It's about this young girl who's a foreigner who moves to Japan with her stepfather. She's, I guess, somewhere between 3 and 6 years old. She's not in school yet. I think that's what's going to happen in some of the later volumes, is she's going to start going to school. And it's just her in the neighborhood, having the adventures. It's very sort of a Miyazaki type of nice childhood, and her getting into trouble and meeting with the neighbors and doing fun stuff. So it doesn't sound, when you explain it, it's like, oh, okay, it's like about a little girl. But it's amazing. I can't recommend it enough.
Sweet.
Anyways, on to the next thing.
Okay, well, and one other I'll recommend because you like the funny is Cromartie High School. Either the anime or the manga, whichever one you can find. It's crazy. Want to know how crazy it is? Freddie Mercury and an ape are in it.
Okay. I think I've seen some some trailers and stuff for it, but definitely I think I'll add that one too.
I have the entire series. It's laugh out loud hilarious.
Do you own a lot of stuff? I guess you do, right? Or?
Yeah, I do, and I actually get some stuff from friends once they're done with it. And in fact, I actually got a lot from somebody who was leaving the company that I work for, and he had a bunch of bootlegs of things. And I ended up getting a whole bunch of stuff from him.
Yeah, Netflix for me has been pretty much a saving grace on my anime adventure here, because you get the one or two things and 2 discs of the series. You watch them; they're good, they're not good, and they're good. You just add everything in the queue, and they usually are pretty good with once stuff comes out that they have it. Unfortunately, with some of the 5 or 6 volumes of a series, I'll get like 1 and 2 and 3 immediately, and for some reason, like volume 4 or volume 5 is like very long wait, and it'll be like months and months before I get it. And it's like, I don't know. And the volume 6 is on there and it's available now. And it's like, why is everybody getting volume 4 or volume 5? And like volume 5 and 6 are available now. Why isn't that one very long wait? It's one of those mysteries of Netflix that are unexplained, but that's worked out for me pretty good. And the stuff that I really, truly love, I scrape together the money and then I go and buy it. Even though I've seen it already on Netflix and I've watched them all, it's like, okay, that's so good, I'm going to buy it. I have the Cowboy Bebop box set. I have the film, even though I've seen all the episodes. I have Fruits Basket.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually what happened to me with one of the series that I watched mostly on Netflix first. Well, it wasn't an anime; it was a TV show. But Stargate, I started on Stargate, and I bought all of it on DVD. So I can kind of see where you're going with the anime stuff, because on occasion I will actually buy things that I started watching from other people's collections, and then just buy it for my own because it's just too good.
Yeah, definitely. I have very few DVDs, and it's the stuff that is the major things that I love that I buy, and unfortunately that's like 25 DVDs, so it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get me to go out and buy something, so when I do have it, it's very special.
All right, so moving on from anime to video games, I actually have a review of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, because
Great.
I have been playing that nonstop since I bought it. It is amazing. Oh my god. I have not had this much fun with a fighting game in forever. And not only is it a good game for multiple people, but the one-player mode in it is almost like a game in itself. It's got a mode where it's a story mode that's done by the same person who does Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, wow.
So they actually have a thorough laid out thing. In fact, it's the Kingdom Hearts person because a lot of the enemies in this come up from this like purple cloud that reminds me obviously of the Heartless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the story mode unlocks characters. You can do that a separate way if you want to, but I was able to unlock Snake this way. And again, come on, Snake being in it, you can't get better than that. Solid Snake in a game with Mario. And what I like about this also is that you have multiple ways of playing it. You could do it one of 3 ways. The first way would be with the Wiimote and the nunchuck. Now, Anybody who's played Wii knows that there's a Wiimote and the nunchuck. That's the way you set it up, where you'd use the nunchuck to do your movement with the analog stick. There's a jump button that you use, and there's also a block button. And A and B on the Wiimote you're using as well, and that's what you'll be using. The other way to do it is to turn the Wiimote sideways and use it like a Nintendo controller.
Right.
The only problem with this, though, is that you have limited move choices with this, because there are certain moves you can only do with the Wiimote and the nunchuck that you can't do with just a Wiimote.
Because you don't have enough buttons? Or?
Right. That's it. Yeah, it just wasn't designed for it. So there you go. It's an option if you just want to have limited gameplay, but I wouldn't recommend it. What I would recommend doing, however, and this is what I did, and it's the way I'm playing it most of the time, is I bought myself 2 Nintendo Wavebird controllers. Now, I don't know if you know what a Wavebird controller is, but it's the wireless GameCube controllers.
Oh.
And what you can do is you plug those in to the GameCube controller port on the top, and you can then use it to your heart's delight. It'll work perfectly with the game because that's the way that they designed it, and it's a great experience. So you got basically 2 options that really work, 1 option that half works, and that's what I go for with Smash Brothers.
Well, that's something that you don't see every day. 3 different a game that you can use 3 different controllers with. 3 different. Obviously, the Wiimote's the same controller, but you're using it a different way.
Right.
But that's great.
And Smash Brothers actually convinced me to buy my first Virtual Console game, as I immediately went out and bought Kirby's Adventure for the NES, and I've been having a lot of fun playing the old school game on that, man. You wouldn't believe it. It's like it's such old school fun, and with that also you have the option of using either the GameCube controller or the Wiimote turn sideways. And if you use the Wiimote turn sideways, that's an NES controller. That's it.
Right.
It just feels like the old school, man, back in the day.
That's the best. Now, obviously, you can play the GameCube games on the Wii. Do you have a lot of GameCube games? Do you still have your GameCube? Or
I never had a GameCube in the first place.
You never had one? Okay.
Right. However, now that I have Wavebirds, and actually in the eBay auction I won, it also came with a memory card. So you damn well better believe I'm going out there and getting me some GameCube games now.
Because those are pretty reasonable price, right? Used, aren't they like $5 or $6 or something like that?
Yeah.
I'd heard that they were even thinking of making more GameCube games because people are playing all the GameCube games on the Wii. I don't know if that's true or not. It might, one of those internet things that you read.
It's half true, actually. They're putting out with certain things specifically for the GameCube that they weren't going to be putting out specifically for the GameCube before. Like for instance, some of the sports games, and obviously Zelda had a dual release because that's just the way it happened. Yeah, there are going to be some things that are still released for the GameCube, just like there's things released for the PS2. And
that's do you play the Brawl? You can play Brawl. Can you play that online?
You can actually
with other people.
Yeah. It has a Wi-Fi feature. I haven't actually tested it out yet. And here's my issue with Nintendo: they're kid friendly. We know that,
right? Definitely.
Now, what they make you do with Nintendo games, and because it's not even uniform yet, this is why it's difficult, they make you get a 12-digit code that you need to input in order to actually play your game with somebody else. And that's not really that fun, I'm sorry. It's like, to actually have to get a code first before you can play with somebody is not a good way to go about things.
So do you have to know the person, or is it through Nintendo?
You can either go online and go to a forum that people are posting their friend codes on, and just put in a random one and hope for the best.
Okay.
I believe there's also a friend finder that you can do on there, which does work, and then that person's code is then left on your system, which is good. But it's mostly done by trading friend codes. That's the way you do it.
That's interesting. I've never actually played online with somebody, so I don't know, all the ins and outs of that type of thing. Have you download? You haven't connected your Wii to the internet at all? I know you can download.
I have. It's connected to the internet. It's connected via wireless, and I get all the system updates that way. And I was able to download stuff from the Virtual Console, and I have the web browser also installed on it, which is good. And
the old school NES games.
Well, that's
Super Mario.
That's what the Virtual Console is actually.
Oh, okay.
That's Kirby. That's how I was able to get Kirby's Adventure, just by going online to the shop and purchasing Kirby's Adventure, and then having that on my Wii because of that, which is a nice easy way of doing it. And
they certainly made the Wii the right way. I mean, it seems to be the console that keeps on giving,
Right. And I mean, I still play Wii Sports to this day. I mean, it's one of the best pack-in games I've played since Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just has over and over again replayability. So I'll give Smash Brothers the full 5 out of 5. I'm sorry. I love this game so much, and I just cannot stop playing it. Like I said, it's as good playing with people as it is by yourself, and it's really the first fighting game I can ever say that about, because I hated, and I mean hated, the modes, like the one-player modes in Tekken, where you would just face people. That's it. There was no story to it. Until Tekken 5, where they finally started introducing some backstory, it got a little better. But with that one, I was never really that happy about it. With even like the Marvel vs. Capcom games, sure, playing it one player would be fine and dandy, but you'd only be playing it to see your ending, and that's it. You know, there's no other real reason for it. But there's a thorough story throughout Smash Brothers, and that's what makes it fun.
Definitely, my job that I work, it's a kids program, and we have a Wii along with a Nintendo 64 and a PS2.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice, we don't let the kids play all the time. It's sort of a, carrot type of thing where, like, do this and you get to play video games. Everybody's really totally into Smash for 64.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I think some of the staff have just kind of been waiting to pull the trigger on buying Brawl for the Wii, because I think once we get it, that's all everybody will want to do, and that's all we'll hear about.
It's certainly worth playing, but yeah, like, it's addictive. It's really, really addictive. Like, I mean, I play it at least 3 times a week.
Maybe once the summer program starts, I'll crack the wallet for the kids.
Right. Well, and the N64 gets no love. I mean, I still have my N64, and on a regular basis, I'll break out Blitz 2000 for the N64 and just bring it over to my best friend's place, and we'll just, like, have old school football fun, which is the only thing I can really get out of that other than Mario Kart, really. Some
of those games are pretty hard to find, though, right? Used, or is it pretty easy?
You can go on eBay and get things for decent deals. I mean, that's always going to be the way it is. Plus, Amazon Marketplace is a good place to look. There's still plenty of people selling their N64 games. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'll have to look on those. That thing is indestructible. I mean, the kids banging around and the controllers, and it starts right. I'm used to the old NES, where you had to jiggle the games in there and blow on the cartridges, and it's not working, and you kind of sit there and stare at the flipping TV thing, and
I still have to blow on my cartridges sometimes with the N64 because I don't play it that often, but once I blow on it a couple times, it works.
Yep.
All right, so I'd say that's pretty much plenty of conversation for us. So let's head on over to the Geek News. News time, and we'll start it off with some nice, simple stories for you. Let's go TV first because, we have plenty of things to say about TV. And
I love TV.
Oh, yes, TV is very, very good. Well, number one, TV's returning. Isn't that happy?
Yes. Thank God. The writer's strike is over. Our long national nightmare has come to an end.
Mm-hmm. In fact, today I sat down and watched My Name is Earl from 8 to 9, and I was just breathing it in.
I should have TiVoed that, actually. Yeah, I've actually shaved my strike beard, and I am clean shaven now that new TV has returned.
Nice, nicely done. Well, NBC came out with their upfronts already, which is amazing.
Well, I think they called it the infronts because they were first. Apparently, a month before everybody else, they decided we're going to have it first. And tell everybody about we're not going to do the fall season anymore. It's going to be a year season, 62 weeks, and new stuff debuting, all the time and stuff like that. So, of course, they're trying to make it sound like they came up with it, and Fox has been doing it for like the last 5 years.
Right. That's the way everything works. They got to be first in everything, even if they're not really first.
Exactly. So, what shows were you happy to see back from NBC?
Well, from NBC in particular, obviously I'm happy to see The Office, and that The Office has been renewed like everybody thought it was going to be. We got to wait until September for Heroes, and actually a bit of news actually broke while we were recording this, that Heroes Origins is just not going to happen.
I heard about that it's gone. They canceled it before it even came on.
Right, yeah, and that happened mostly because of the writer's strike, and they're just not going to do it at all anymore, which I guess sort of makes sense considering that it was, I guess, something that would have worked better for this season, and now that this season is over, then, why even bother doing it? However, there's interesting web plans for NBC, which is what I wanted to focus on mainly here, that The Office, Chuck, and Heroes are going to have full, 10-minute long webisodes online, which are going to be done by the writers, obviously, now that they're ensured that they're going to be able to get the money that they deserve out of these. They can do whatever they want and be okay with it. So these are going to be full, 10-minute long, 15-minute long episodes of things online throughout the summer.
Now, did you watch the ones from The Office? I heard they're called The Accountant or something.
Yeah, The Accountants, which was actually pretty fun. It was nice short webisodes that were included on the season 3 DVDs, which I own, so I was able to watch them on that, and I watched them online when they aired. It was nice, something nice to pass the time when there was no other TV on.
I heard that they won some sort of Emmy for that, some online Emmy.
They did, a daytime Emmy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for outstanding broadband. Which I guess doesn't really make that much sense. But
yeah, I was like, that's okay.
Outstanding broadband. Their internet was very, very strong. But yeah, so that's what's going on. There's some new shows premiering on NBC, obviously, with their upfronts, and let me get into those because gotta talk about everything here. So let's see. Here are the new shows that we'll go through real quickly here. My Own Worst Enemy with Christian Slater as a spy. But it's in the doomed Monday at 10 slot.
Monday at 10. Who's it up against? Is that like American Idol or something?
That's the CSI slot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's sort of, I think I read a little bit about it. It sort of seems like a Wanted type of, the movie and the comic. It sort of sounded like that. I know they kind of want to capitalize on the whole 24 and Jason Bourne type of thing,
Right. And I mean, it does sound interesting, but at the same time, they canceled my favorite show of this past season, Journeyman, which was the Monday at 10 show. So I might even just boycott Monday at 10 just for the hell of it. Be like, you know what? You're not you canceled the show I wanted to watch at Monday at 10, so I'm not going to watch this. Yeah,
I loved Journeyman. Loved, glad that the last episode they kind of, were able to cap it off a little bit.
Right.
Definitely something. Definitely when that comes out on DVD, the first and only season, it's definitely on my to-buy list.
Oh, hell yes. I agree with that entirely. I'm going to watch that over and over again. We got the Island Adventure Caruso, which is based on the obviously on the Robinson Crusoe story. That's on Fridays at 8. Might be interesting. It's another island series.
You can't go. Obviously, ABC has not gone wrong with that, so they might as well try it.
Because we're lost on an island. It's one of my favorite things when that one person did the 80s theme song for Lost.
I have not seen that. You'll have to send me the link.
I'll put it in the show notes for everybody.
Okay, great.
Molly Shannon's got a sitcom called Kath and Kim starting.
I heard that's a big Australian show that they're remaking.
Yes, it is actually, and so that's why I'm immediately thinking, oh, they're trying to make another Office. That's terrific.
Yeah, well, we got The Office because of it, so
yeah, but before that we had Coupling,
right,
which didn't exactly turn out well, and like the It Crowd, which was going to happen this season, but ended up not happening. Thank God, because they would have ruined it.
You think?
Oh yeah, even though they had the actual the guy who plays one of the characters in the It Crowd was going to be on the actual American version. I don't think it would have worked. It wouldn't have worked well enough for me. I'm sorry. I like the original. I'm just going to stick with that.
I heard they wanted to try and remake Top Gear for America.
Really?
Which I don't know if you're familiar with Top Gear.
Yeah.
They show it on BBC America. Mm-hmm. But I'd heard they wanted to get maybe Leno or Jerry Seinfeld. People who are known for their cars. Mm-hmm. And buying all that stuff.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I don't know how interested Seinfeld will be after his rollover accident, but,
boy. Yeah, I heard about that. My mom tells me, and I'm like, yeah, it would have been bad for his career had he died. So, yay or nay on the remake of Knight Rider, Wednesdays at 8?
I saw the backdoor pilot, I guess you could call it, TV movie. Mm-hmm. I thought it was okay. It wasn't horrible, but I've always had a soft spot in my heart for those types of, kind of crime, helping people dramas, like The Equalizer and A-Team and all those 80s goofy Chips and Dukes of Hazzard and all that stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, that was what I lived and breathed on. So it's kind of hard to badmouth a lot of the stuff now that I'm older, even though I don't watch it. But, I'll give it a try. Definitely.
It was okay. What they need to do is they need to actually give more personality to the main character. And whatever they do, don't use David Hasselhoff too much.
Right.
Like, limit the David Hasselhoff. Have him be on every now and then, but don't have him be on every episode because you're just going to ruin the mystique of the old show that way. Unless, of course, he's writing Kit. Exactly.
That's the thing I was going to say when you mentioned it was what happened to the original Kit. Mm-hmm. Is he David Hasselhoff's laptop now? I mean, did they take him? They took him out of the car. Is he like is he like in a Mini Cooper or what?
Well, Knight Rider 2000 and Knight Rider 3000 didn't actually happen, or whatever it was. Knight Rider 2010. That's like separate continuity, I guess. So technically, we don't know what happened to Kit, but I certainly hope they get Mr. Feeney back to voice him.
Definitely, that would be great.
Yeah, I hate Val Kilmer. Don't get me started on that. Should have been Will Arnett, damn you. All right, but we got a new drama, The Philanthropist, and we got My Own Worst Enemy's time slot being filled by that. And two others are premiering, Ian McShane in Kings and Merlin, as well as the reality show America's Toughest Jobs. I don't care about that, but Merlin. Is that actually going to be about Merlin? We don't know.
Yeah. And I think the Kings one, is that the David and Goliath kind of remake?
I think so, yeah.
But it's set in modern times. Mm-hmm. It's set in I don't understand. That's something that confuses the heck out of me.
That's like Jack and Bobby. Like that same sort of thing where like they're telling the story of JFK in today. That's why it was so weird. It's like, hey, one of these people is going to be president. And I'm like, if they're called Jack and Bobby, I think I know which one's going to be it.
Ian McShane was awesome, obviously, in Deadwood, so I'm going to give it, I'll watch the first couple episodes, see what it's about, just see how they do it.
Right.
Set it up. It seems amazing, so we'll see how it looks.
I certainly hope it looks good. We got returning shows, obviously, I'll just run through them real quick. 30 Rock, Medium, The Office, Celebrity Apprentice, Life, Chuck, Heroes, Dateline, Deal or No Deal, My Name is Earl, America's Got Talent, Last Comic Standing, Nashville Star, The American Idol for Hicks, The Biggest Loser, American Gladiators, The American Gladiators for Hicks, SNL, ER, Law & Order, and Law & Order SVU, but not SUV.
Huh. Yeah, a lot of reality shows in there.
What else is new?
What do you think of Medium?
I love Medium. It's a great show. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too. The writing, some of those episodes, and I never really pay attention to writers, just like in regular shows that I happen to be watching. But I'm gonna TiVo those reruns, and there's a couple episodes where the end of the episode happens, and you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Who is the person who wrote that? And let's give him a contract and let's get him writing a show, because that episode was amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the writers on that are very, very good.
And they managed to write I'd say one of the best relationships on television, because they're one of the most believable married couples I've ever seen.
Yes, exactly. With the kids, juggling all that stuff. It's not like a soccer mom type of thing, where she's like, oh, I'm taking you to soccer. And I love how the girls have dreams also.
Right.
And they're part of the show. It's not just, they just happen to have kids and they don't talk about them at all. They're part of the show, which I think is great.
Yeah. And, the ones that aren't coming back, Scrubs, which, is not dead, because it's probably going to end up on ABC, people are saying.
That's funny. I just love that, where somebody else your show wasn't good and your show's not good enough for our network. And then knock on the door. It's the other network saying, hey, you know what? We love your show and we want you to come to our network.
Most importantly, the network that funds the show in the first place, the network that created the show. It's airing on NBC, but it's being done by ABC's production network.
That's just funny.
Yeah, so that's the way it works. And Scrubs is now going to probably end up moving on to ABC for another season. And I say more power to it because the show's still good.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's the thing is when you get that call of death from the network or from the production company, and that was it. I mean, obviously Star Trek was able to, the Mail campaign and all that. That was the historical. But nowadays, you're pretty much done. Obviously, Jericho being special circumstance type of thing. But now
Jericho's dead.
Yeah, now that they're dead again, but now with the broadband, with the internet and people, there's all these different avenues to continue that stuff. And stuff that, with the DVD sales, people are like, oh, well, if we just had one more season, then, the DVD sales would be this. So we're going to go ahead and do it, even though it's up against American Idol and we're going to have a full season. Stuff like that. I'd hope that Journeyman would be able to come back.
Yeah. Maybe on Sci-Fi Channel, that would have been nice.
Criminal Intent not being shown on NBC, but being shown on USA, and NBC getting the repeats, which was foresight for them to do that with the writer's strike. In January, oh look, we have all new episodes of Criminal Intent that were on USA that only like 2 million people saw on USA, but we show it on NBC and 10 million people watch it. And guess what? We can say in every promo for every show, we've got new shows, and everybody else doesn't because they didn't think ahead.
And how about the fact that Friday Night Lights is going to premiere on DirecTV, Channel 101?
Love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Love that show.
It's a show I caught maybe 2 episodes of so far. I'm going to have to get the rest on Netflix and just catch up because I'd be very interested in seeing that on DirecTV when it airs because I have DirecTV and I'll get to see it in HD, so yay.
The first season, if you get it on DVD, it's a perfect season. You get those, you have that perfect, like Matrix, perfect movie. You don't talk about 2 and 3, Star Wars, the 4 through 6, perfect trilogy. You don't talk about 1, 2, 3. Season 1, just perfect, a great. And if they had canceled it then, it would have been fine. Season 2, they stumbled a little bit, but now that they are, they know that this is how it's going to be, DirecTV, and they'll reshow everything on, here it is, NBC again, coming up with alternate avenues, the shows people love, the shows that critics love, being made, and they get first crack after DirecTV airs them. I mean, it's DirecTV is going to air them. That means nobody on the cable systems are going to get it, I would assume. And so in January, 20 million, everybody in the network, it's a brand new show for NBC.
Sure.
And it's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about how smart, and this is an oxymoron, how smart these network executives seem to be after because of the writer's strike, during the writer's strike, and now after the writer's strike.
Here's hoping they stay smart.
Definitely.
Well, they were smart to do one thing, and that's 2 shows got canceled in the NBC network. One on Sci-Fi Channel and one on NBC. Flash Gordon is canceled, and Bionic Woman is canceled. I
liked the girl in Bionic Woman. I didn't really like the show, and I never watched Flash Gordon.
I refused to watch Bionic Woman because Washington was on it, Isaiah Washington, because after the racist comments and well, it wasn't even racist, just like after the comments he made about gays, I was like, you know what, I'm not supporting the fact that you got on a new show so quickly. So
yeah.
No,
you can call him race. You could call it racist.
Yeah,
you could call it racist.
Yeah. And Amnesia, one versus 100, and of course Journeyman are not coming back. But let's talk real quickly about the one show that wasn't mentioned here, and that is the Office spinoff that's happening. What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. I mean, I guess they closed the other Office, that the one guy went to, right?
Right.
What do you think it's going to... I have no idea.
I have a theory, actually. This one show was being worked on by Greg Daniels, who, obviously does The Office. And I believe he picked it up. It was like a UK show or something like that about a woman, I think it was, that goes from America to teach like the Indian telemarketers how to do their job. So I think it might actually be a Kelly spinoff.
Really?
I think they're going to take Kelly and they're going to put her into a like one of the outsourced places, and she's going to be teaching them how to work in the office.
That'll be funny.
Yeah,
that sounds funny.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
I can't see them breaking off like one of the main characters and having like somebody else be the head of like another office,
right.
And all of that hilarity ensues. Hopefully it's not something like that. Obviously the people who write and who have taken over the office, from the original creators of the English, obviously it's a great show, so they know what they're doing. So I'm very interested to see what happens. Is that going to start right in the fall, or are they thinking January?
I believe mid-season. So I think it starts in January. If not, then February or something like that.
Well, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I mean, the more the merrier.
Yeah, definitely. With the writer's strike really affected a lot of people, and it was very hard. But now everybody's back, and we're happy. Do we want to run through the list of when everything comes back and how many episodes, or do you want to do?
I think that's kind of easy enough to find online.
Okay.
If anybody does, there's actually a really easy list to go to at ain'titcoolnews.com. They have a nice rundown of when things are returning in April and when they're going to return otherwise if they're not returning. How about we move on to some other TV news that you've happened upon?
Okay, here we go. Other news today out of New York was the Cartoon Network up front. And I guess George Lucas made an appearance with the Clone Wars film and animated series coming later this year. A lot of people are excited about that. I was not excited about it because I was not a big fan of the films, and I was not a big fan of the animated series that came out. But I ended up seeing some stuff at WonderCon with everybody's favorite Steve Stansweet. And it actually looked really, really good. So I'm looking forward to this. It'll be TiVo'd, and
cross your fingers.
I'll give it. Yeah, exactly. Cross your fingers, George. Don't let me down again. I guess the other big announcement was the new Batman series, Brave and Bold, which it looks like they want to skew to some younger kids.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because I think it's going to be on Friday nights.
Is it during Friday nights?
Yeah, well, it's like the if I remember correctly, I think yeah, it does say there something about that. I thought I saw it inside the actual article itself.
Yeah, the article I have up doesn't really talk about the Batman one too much, but I know that it's teaming them up with a few different DC Comics superheroes, and also the new version of Blue Beetle, which, I guess they want to kind of put him front and center for the series. Mm-hmm.
And
so,
I did
but
actually
it does
find online, by the way, just to break in for a minute here, that it is going to be part of a Friday night action adventure block. Star Wars and Batman Brave and the Bold will be on that.
Together,
yeah. Okay, continue.
Okay, so like I said, it looks like it's skewing a little younger. I don't know. I don't have any information. I don't know if you have anything in your article about who is doing the show running.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they've actually announced that yet.
I don't think it's Bruce Timm. Yeah. But it definitely, it seemed, everybody's kind of going crazy for Brave and the Bold lately, so we'll see how it looks.
Right. Green Arrow.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some sort of exploding arrow, or I think it would have been better if he had his boxing glove arrow in the promo.
Well, he's also sans facial hair. It's the old school Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more the Silver Age Green Arrow there, along with the Silver Age Batman. So it's interesting to have a new character like Blue Beetle along those two.
Yeah, I'm reading real quick the Star Wars TV animated show. It looks like it's focusing on an 11-year-old girl who's a Padawan apprentice to Anakin.
Yes, that's exactly what it's doing, and that's why some people were like, "What? He had a Padawan?"
Yeah, but the other thing too is like he killed all those Padawans. So,
yes.
I mean, ultimately in the film, does that mean that he kills this 11-year-old girl?
I guess so.
That is just, or does she? That's sort of weird to me.
I know.
I think actually it's Ahsoka is the Padawan.
I believe so.
Okay, is that not? I don't know if that's the character from the third one where. You know how Lucas put himself and his family in the film?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his daughter, his stepdaughter, or his daughter or not. Anyways,
not sure about that, but I'm sure that somebody who knows more about Star Wars can probably school us on it if they need to.
Yeah, tell us on the forum.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, moving on from Star Wars to Dig.com for a minute. I'm a huge user of Dig.com. In fact, a lot of the stories I actually get come from Dig.com, I'll admit, but...
They're on my homepage.
One thing in particular caught my interest recently. Dig is going to start suggesting stories to people, similar to the way that when you go to Amazon.com, you get like the "you might also like," that sort of thing. That's what's going to be happening with Dig.com now.
Well, I think does it read what you read? I mean, does it know what you read? And so it's like, okay, we'll suggest this to you. You know, sort of like you said, like Amazon. I mean, I guess that's good.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Here's the exact thing that Kevin said. When you dig a story that already has 3,000 digs, you have no idea who the other 2,999 people are. What else are they digging? So Dig will make connections and introduce you to other stories that might interest you. Some of them might not even be popular yet. They'll make those connections by, amongst other things, following the so-called pressure users. The users that have an eye for good content. Based on their Dig behavior, the team can make better recommendations. So Dig Suggests is an upcoming feature. If you can't wait for that service to arrive, you might want to try the Dig Suggest web app. So that's exactly what it's going to be doing. They're going to take the big diggers that I guess dig similar stories to you and connect you to those similar stories.
Yeah, I guess just another tab on my bookmarks that will be added in the coming weeks.
Right. I mean, it sounds fun. I mean, like I said, it does remind me a little bit of the Amazon thing. It reminds me a little bit of what Facebook does, too, where you're going to be able to, like, I guess maybe see what other people are digging. Like, on Facebook, you get the 1,200 messages of, like, like Jim is no longer dating such and such. Jim went to the mall this morning. Or, Jim is apathetic.
I think Netflix does something similar, with their recommending movies, and they kind of figure out what you like by what your ratings are. And then, they have the Netflix Friends, which is a little weird to me because then people can see what you're renting, which, I think is kind of personal if you're renting, if you're some big gruff guy and you're renting romantic comedies all the time and people can see what you're renting, but I mean, I don't have anything to hide. So I know they have the Netflix Friends going on a thread on the forum, and everybody's kind of friending each other. So
Netflix prawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
I'm just watching anime, so no big.
Well, why don't we go from Dig to Rickroll?
Oh, yes. I was very confused about the whole Rickroll phenomenon.
Never gonna give
because I had not.
Never gonna give. Oh God.
Yeah, I remember when that was a big hit on the radio back in the 80s. So yeah, I got hit by somebody on the forum. I think it was actually one of the maybe not safe for work things, and it's like, oh, I'll click on this and see him. Bam, there he is singing. So it's like, what the heck is going on here?
Well, actually, my favorite one was Koite on the Amazing Spider-Cast forums. Linked to want to see Joe Quesada get dunked? Click here. And it was from the dunk, supposed to be the dunk tank from
right, from MegaCon.
But instead, it was never gonna give you up, never gonna say.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So he's aware of it, right?
Yeah.
Rick Astley.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he's loving it. I'm sure he's getting the airplay. I heard, isn't he one of the guys in one of those '80s tours that is touring? You know, they tour with like 3 other bands or something like that, and make lots of money from all the people who loved him in the '80s.
I think he might be. Well, do you have the actual link up, the Wired link that I sent you? Because they've got a block quote there from Rick Astley that you could probably read.
That he says?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Rick Astley off of the Wired article. It looks like they just quoted him from a different article. It says, I'm aware of it, obviously, and I've had various friends over the last, 6 months or maybe more email me a link and stuff like this. And YouTube has been on to me about it as well. Not me directly, but my manager of the last 20 years. It's weird, really, because I don't perform much anymore. I do the occasional thing. I'm going to do a few gigs later this year with some other people from the 80s, and it's a bit of fun. But I'm not out there every week doing something to do with my former career, so it's a little bit strange. It's a bit strange anyway, to be honest, to have videos of me when you were a young guy out on the internet. Do you know what I mean? I'm 42 years old now, so it's a little bit weird anyway, but it's funny. It makes me laugh. I'm sure it really annoys a lot of other people, but it's made me laugh occasionally.
Well,
That's great.
I'm glad to see he's taking it in stride, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he just seems like, one of those guys who made it big in the 80s for a little while, and he's living his life, and, everybody's going crazy for it. That's funny. Yeah. I saw one of them where it was at a basketball game. I don't know if it was a high school or, a junior college or something, and, it was supposed to be, I think it was a planned event, but the guy, he ran onto the court, during halftime and stole the microphone and started doing the song, and everybody's like, what the heck's going on? And other people who knew what was going on were dancing and screaming and yelling, and people had signs that say, you've been rickrolled and stuff. So just hilarious stuff, that it's like moved into the real world, off of the internet.
And rickrolling Scientology, which was of course fun. When in the Scientology, protest, somebody with a megaphone and a boombox started playing "Never Gonna Give You Up," and now that's like the unofficial theme song for the anonymous group.
Well, I think we should come up with a new '80s song and start doing that.
See, I had already thought of it. Actually, how about "Give a Little Respect"? I tried to discover a little something to make things sweeter. A little respect.
That sounds good.
That you give me that you give me that you give
I like
me
how
that you give me so. I mostly know it from that damn Scrubs episode where it got stuck in everybody's head.
At least it's like still in '80s and it's a British song, so I think that would work. And
it was covered by Ween.
Oh, we'll have to see who comes up with the next one, where it starts and stuff.
Yeah, but we'll definitely link to the Wired interview because that's a lot of fun. And actually, one of my favorite April Fool's jokes from this year was when Amazon UK, YouTube UK, linked all of their front page videos, their featured videos, all linked to Rickroll.
That's classic. That is great.
Yes. All right, well, moving on from there, some 2 quick bits of information here for you. If you're a fan of iPhones and you're a fan of hacking your iPhone, you might have a new friend out there called the iPhone Dev Team's Pwnage tool. Yes, it's actually called Pwnage. What it allows you to do, no, you're not pwning your iPod. Instead, what you're doing is you're actually able to put any firmware you want onto your iPhone, which is going to help you out because if you ever want to use a firmware that's not supported by, say one thing, you can just downgrade and go with that previous firmware so you can continue to use your new apps and old apps and so on and so forth. So if you want to find that out, you can just go straight to their website at the iPhoneDev.org. And, this looks pretty good for iPhone users.
Yeah, I'm an actual iPhone user. I've never jailbroken my phone. I mean, that type of stuff always scares me that I'll brick it or something like that.
Right.
But this one looks, it's the easiest by far to, get other stuff on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens. The next 6 months, obviously, for the iPhone is going to be some interesting. The rumored 3G phone coming out, 2.0 for the firmware.
Yeah.
So
whole bunch of good stuff come down the pipeline.
Exactly. Everybody's waited with bated breath, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and going with mobile phones yet again, just to another story here real quickly, and this was not an April Fool's stunt. This was actually real. T-Mobile sued Engadget Mobile because they actually infringed on their copyright of the color magenta.
That is great. That is a great story.
So for a full day, Engadget Mobile changed their background to be magenta, and they had multiple other sites support them in this endeavor. They're like, we're not changing our frickin' logo. I mean, how could you copyright a color?
Yeah, I mean, the audacity of this company to say, this is us, and, no one else can do it. It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
Boggles the mind.
Yeah, I mean, the question is asked right on this on this one address that I'll be forwarding, putting in the show notes. Ed, can we really register a color?
That is just great. That's one of those what are they thinking stories.
I know. Tell me about it. And what is Circuit City thinking?
Yeah, that's something. I mean, those big box stores. I mean, they're that's the thing is their discounts are great, and you want to go in there and not support them, but you get a story like this, and it just scares the heck out of you. Where they have apparently the guy brought in his car to get installed the navigation system, and Circuit City caused $12,000 worth of damage to his car. God. I mean, how can you even do that much damage? Just ripping, I guess I was reading the story, and the Honda later declared his car a fire hazard and told him it was unsafe to drive.
Oh, no.
Destroying the car's heater ducts, stock wiring harness, and dashboard. Circuit City has only refunded $3,100 and insists that he needs to speak to their third-party insurer.
Yeah, translation, we didn't do it, we swear, but you did all the work. It was him?
Yeah. Yeah, the story, it's on The Consumerist. You'll have to put a link on the show notes because there's a YouTube video of the bill and all the damage that they did. So be careful when you go to Circuit City in getting stuff installed stereo-wise over there.
More like just don't go to Circuit City to get your stuff installed because this might happen to you.
Yeah, they're in trouble anyways, so they might be going out of business anyways.
Gee, I wonder why.
Huh.
I highly wonder why. I guess now we know.
Great customer service.
Oh, please. And, hey, do you want to appear in the next Guitar Hero?
I'm not too, I don't think I would translate very well to a video game, but, you never know.
Well, Activision is scouring the internet for the hardest rocking mortal to feature in the next Guitar Hero. That's the actual press release. The right planets have finally aligned. The time has come for the world's rock messiah to come forth and offer up face-melting salvation to the masses. Right, I need to do this in like a death clock voice, I think. Activision is looking to finally crown the one true Guitar Hero and create a character in his or her likeness to be featured in the next Guitar Hero.
See, I just love this because it doesn't seem like they want to have somebody who's actually good at Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Because I think those types of situations, it always seems to be like an 8-year-old girl who is the best Guitar Hero player ever. You have the tournaments, and have you seen that? I can't remember one of the Halo tournaments from a couple years ago where an 8-year-old girl won because she played all the time.
Yeah. Stuff
like that where it's I'm sure that's what they didn't want to have happen. They want some rock star looking guy, and it's send us your video of you playing Guitar Hero, and you might be on the video game. I mean, I don't think they need any more. They don't need any more publicity. I mean, they've got a very good game. The songs are great, everybody knows that, but it's one of those things to get people excited about the next version. I mean, the next version is going to sell millions of copies anyways, but
sure, yeah.
It'll be fun. It sounds like a fun thing.
Definitely. So if you want to try and get yourself to be a part of Guitar Hero, I'll have a link to the Kotaku blog on the show notes, and you can take your link from there to the actual press release for Rockstar. Let's go from Rockstar to iTunes, shall we?
Oh, yeah. The great iTunes and Steve Jobs. I guess this was a story on Ars Technica, which, take it what you will. A lot of people don't like our Ars Technica. But it looks like Apple has passed Walmart as the #1 music retailer in the U.S. So online music has now trumped brick and mortar, and all is right with the world. Thank you, Steve Jobs.
Yes, well, good for them, and let's see whether or not it lasts, because it's one thing to actually pass them, but will it continue to pass them?
Yeah, well, I think I think when they first started, Apple was like fifth or sixth, and very slowly, every 6 months when they come out with a new email or whatever, and it's like Walmart, it was Target, they passed Borders and Circuit City and Barnes and Noble, and now they've taken down Walmart.
We're number one. We're number one. Yeah, I'm sure they're having a nice party now.
I've got an iPhone and an iPod, so that's how I buy all my music.
Well, I have actually, now that I have a ZenVision M, and I used to have the software that was allowed, that was able to decrypt the iTunes songs, and Apple went after them, cease and desist. Finally, they're no longer allowed to link to their own work. And the most recent iTunes breaks the software. Yeah, I'm kind of no longer going to be using iTunes for my downloading needs.
Oh, well, that's too bad. One of us.
Hey, Amazon is DRM free and better quality, and for the exact same price. So I think I'm just going to go Amazon from now on.
Just like you, Ian, to go against the grain.
Yeah, me and my ZenVision M. Enough said. Hey, it's a good player, I swear. All right, and one last story for you here, the silly one of the bunch. There's actually a blog out there. Well, not a blog, but Boston.com goes into the mystery. Joshua Glenn of Boston.com goes into the mystery of whether or not the song Iron Man by Black Sabbath is actually about Iron Man.
Huh, well, I mean, that Black Sabbath, that Ozzy, right?
Yes.
Ozzy, so I don't know what Ozzy was doing. So much drugs back then. Who knows what he was thinking? I could see him reading Iron Man comics and going, "Oh, I'm going to do a song about this."
Yeah. Well, I mean, my favorite part. You know what? I am going to have to play a little bit of this just for the hell of it. My favorite part is the theme song for the '90s Iron Man cartoon right here, just so you can see that even Marvel is trying to make you get convinced that Black Sabbath Iron Man is about Iron Man.
Great.
Gee, I wonder where they got "I Am Iron Man" from.
Yeah, wow, that was pretty blatant there.
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit, little bit. And this was the second season too. That wasn't even their original theme song. They went to that in the second season.
Well, the trailer for the film looks great, and you see some of those scenes where he's blowing up tanks and stuff, and then they start the music, and it just sounds great. I mean, obviously, it's a great. I mean, I was making fun a little bit, but it's a great song. It's one of those great songs.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And it just fits so well with what Favreau seems to want. And I guess he personally talked to Sharon and everything and got the rights to the song so they could play it. And hopefully it's going to be a big part of the film, like some action sequence. They'll be playing the whole thing. Oh, and they just didn't get it for the trailer, hopefully.
Right. I almost guarantee you that it's going to be in the movie at some point. I mean, the fact that Sharon wrote off on it pretty much guarantees that it'll be in there. So I'm happy to see that they actually went that route and got the original song, because it would have been wrong not to have Iron Man without Iron Man.
You know, if they had one of these up and coming bands covered it or something, it would have definitely not been as good.
Oh, you mean like when Aerosmith did the Spider-Man theme song?
Let's not talk about that. I've burned that from my memory, so I have no recollection of what you're talking about.
Likely story, sir. Likely story. All right, you want to move on to the music?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, sweet. Here we are with some geek music for you. Okay, so yeah, we are ready for the music. Obviously, this is all the usual stuff, the same old PodSafe music we usually go for. And, well, Troy was lucky enough to find one of his favorite bands on PodSafe. So what do you got for us?
The band I have chosen that's on PodSafe, they're an indie band called Mates of State, a husband and wife. And they actually recently just had a couple of kids. And they tour constantly. What song did you pick? I
went with your suggestion, actually. I went with Hoarding. What is that? Hoarding It for Home?
Yeah, Hoarding It for Home. Great song. He plays the drums, and she plays organ/keyboards, the U.S. constantly. And like I said, they just had a couple of kids in the last 2 years. She just had the girl. I'm sorry, I don't know their names offhand. I probably should have gotten that. You can look them up on matesestate.com, and they also have a blog on Babbleblog called Band on the Diaper Run, which is hilarious because they take their kids with them. You know, they originally had their first daughter, who's I believe going to turn 4, and so they were taking her on tour with them, and you know, all the stories and the great stuff. From them being on tour, it's all there. She posts all the time on the blog, so it's not one of those blogs where they don't post for 6 months and you totally forget about it.
Right.
But it's a great song, great album. Their new album is coming out. It's called Rearrange Us. It's going to hit stores May 20th, and they will be touring directly after that. So
sweet. All right,
let's give a listen.
Exactly. Here we are with Mates of State. So listen good.
I know.
All right, there you go. There's Mates of State.
Sounded great. I suggest everybody go to their PodSafe page. There's a second great song that they have on there called Proofs, which is about a math proof. So I saw that and I'm like, okay, that's a Geekspeak kind of Geekspeak kind of band.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're actually right up my musical alley, so that works. I might have to track down some of their other stuff now. I was gonna make an Amazon order with the new REM albums. Maybe I'll include one of their other ones on there.
Yeah, they got about 4 albums, or the fourth one's coming out, so they're great.
Sweet, awesome. And you said they have a website. You said, right?
Yeah, it's matesestate.com. And they have a bunch of links, like I was talking about their blog. It's called it's called Band on the Diaper Run, right. And it's on Babel blog. So you can just go to Babel blog and look that up, or they've got a bunch of links and the store there at their website. So
excellent.
Great band. Great band. What do you got for us?
Well, what I got for you guys actually is something from the ocremix.org that I get my opening and closing music from. I figured I'd change it up a little bit because I usually go Podsafe Music Network. This time instead, let's go from there. And this is actually one of the first songs I heard from OC Remix that just made me fall in love with the site. And mostly because it's got the feel and the composition of the original piece, and yet it's got an extra layer to it. It's got vocals. And this is by a remixer by the name of JD Project. And he's on the site. He's got, I think this is actually his only remix he did for the site. But he's got a bunch of other things. Joe Darwish is his real name. And I believe if you search his name online, he's got a MySpace page. But JD Project is the band that's doing this. It's called The Ken Song. So it's actually taken from the Street Fighter II Ken music. And he adds,
that's great.
And he adds vocals and lyrics, and it's a lot of fun. So here we are, JD Project, with the Street Fighter II theme song, The Ken Song. All right, there you have it. There is JD
Wow, they were
Project.
great.
Yeah, no, they're totally awesome, and plenty of other stuff like that you can find on ocremix.org that are right up your alley. And again, some of it's instrumental and some of it's lyrics, and they usually do a decent job with the lyrics.
I just love that how all these popular songs now are going to start. All these kids who are growing up with the video games, and anime and all the geek stuff. They're going to start singing. These kids now are going to be the rock stars of tomorrow, and they're going to start singing about this stuff.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be it's and bands like that. That was great. So I can't wait to hear. I'm going to have to really kind of go through that site and listen to some of the good stuff that's on there.
Definitely, and there's a bunch of good stuff. And like I said, you can go to myspace.com and just search for JD Project, or just do a Google search for JD Project, and you'll find their MySpace page, because they got a couple other songs on there that aren't video game related that are pretty good. And actually, I'll recommend 2 songs to you right off the bat, and I might even send them to you if I can. But there's a band called Ozma, Ozma, that's like my favorite band. And
no, I Battle Scars is one of the best rock songs ever made.
Thank
Natalie
you.
Portman.
Natalie
Port.
Oh my!
Natalie, let me.
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I'm just amazed that somebody else knows who Ozma is. Thank you.
Oh, let me tell. I've got a quick little Ozma story here.
Okay.
Me and my buddy Michael, we drove to L.A. specifically to see the Get Up Kids and Weezer at the Palladium in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. And we got there, we didn't know where we were in Hollywood. We wanted to get there early. We stood in line. We didn't want to miss anything. We got there, and opening band, Ozma. Who the heck is Ozma? I don't know. They play, they got the keyboards going, and it's like, what the heck is going on? And my good friend Michael's like, I hate this band. And of course, Weezer had just started coming back, just started playing, and it's like, well, and Get Up Kids are my favorite band. So, and they were touring. They played like 2 songs in LA, one show in Santa Monica, one in San Diego. So it's like, well, let's go and be nerds and geeks and go and see them at all these shows. And of course, Ozma opened for them at all these shows. And by the 4th show that we had seen, he was in love with them. He's like, that song "Battle Scars" is the best song ever made.
Oh yes.
We were driving back to Phoenix, and he's like, we need to stop at a Best Buy so I can buy that album, so we can listen to the album all the way home. And I'm like, you sure, really?
I certainly hope you own Pasadena.
Is that the new one that just came out?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have it. I actually just saw them. They played live last year on their tour for Pasadena.
I was on their New York. I was at their New York stop on the tour, and I'm actually on the Ozma fans forums also.
That is great. They broke up for a while,
Yes,
which
they
broke
did, and
my.
I was heartbroken.
Yeah, it broke our hearts too, and then they came back. It's one of those like, oh, we're gonna break up, and then 6 months later they get back together without like the guitarist or somebody.
It was the drummer this time. It was Patrick, their drummer, left the group, and Ken Shane is the new drummer.
Yeah, so I saw them actually twice last year when they toured on that album. So yeah,
I saw them
great show.
For the first time actually opening up for Weezer. at the Meadowlands Convention Center. It was Ozma Saves the Day and Weezer, and Ozma was the first to go on.
That's a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. I wasn't that big on Saves the Day, but Ozma I loved. And then Weezer came on, and I'm like, I like Ozma so much better than Weezer now.
Yeah,
and I turned to my then girlfriend, and she's like, I agree.
Yeah, I mean that's the bad thing when you go to a show and the opening band is like better than the headline.
Oh yeah.
Band. So you're like, oh my goodness. So that's how it was with me with the Get Up Kids.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I found somebody else that fell in love with Ozma almost the exact same way I did. So there you go. And my favorite thing about
Ozma fan.
Oh well, that's brilliant! Yay! But one of my favorite things also is that I found I found Rilo Kiley through Ozma. Because they opened up for Ozma one night, and I forget. I think Ben Queller was the closing act, and Ozma was opening for them, and then Rilo Kiley was opening for them. So I found Rilo Kiley, and then I found The Good Life through a Rilo Kiley concert. So it's like I'm finding all these great bands that I fell in love with afterwards, all due to the chain of events that started with Ozma.
Yeah, Battle Scars, perfect rock song. Natalie Portman is a great song.
Oh yeah.
How did they played very well when you saw them with Weezer?
They were amazing. I mean, again, once Battle Stars hit, but what sold me was Tetris. You know, when they played the Tetris theme, rock and roll, I was just like, this is my favorite band.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Like I said, I saw them last year, small club, you know, and they had some opening band from California, small club. I was 5 feet away from the stage, and they blew the roof off the joint. Just amazing rock and roll show. So
I actually saw them with the Rentals.
Oh, that would have been the Rentals they're one of my favorite bands along with Weezer and Get Up Kids. I wish he would do more stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I wish he would do more stuff.
Well, Ryan from Ozma, actually, and I know that this is like a rant that is like totally nothing to do with Geeks whatsoever, but at this point I don't even really care.
We'll edit all this out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no. This is going to stay in. Forget that editing out. People need to know the awesomeness that is Ozma. But Ryan actually played as the guitarist for the Rentals at the show I was at. So he actually double billed. He played a full set with Ozma and then did the Rentals also, and it was just wonderful.
Were any of was Petra or Rachel Hayden
Rachel
there?
was there. Petra was not.
Rachel was there.
Yeah, Rachel was there, which worked because Rachel does backing vocals on an Ozma song. So she was actually able to do that song the way it was originally intended, as opposed to Star singing. But Star does a great job of singing anyway. But oh god, tangent. Gotta love it.
Yeah, we're getting off of it. You know, get that dog. Another great band.
Oh yeah, but
so from
definitely. Petra
and Rachel.
Yes, no question. And Petra's when Petra sang The Who, that was wonderful also. But anyway, let's end this off here. Do you have a website out of curiosity? Because I'd love to be able to plug anything that you're doing.
I do not actually have a website,
okay.
But I'm a geek, so I'm going to tell you the website that me and my friend Josh just built in honor of my nephew who was just born, eddiejmata.com. Stick that up in your browser, and you can see my brand new nephew. Aww. And he's actually a big Yankee fan already. His Don Mattingly's his favorite player, and he has a pretty humongous Yankee nursery.
Ooh.
So it's Yankee themed nursery, all the Yankee stuff on the walls, and maybe you can get some ideas.
Well, for most of my life until about maybe 5 years ago when I finally redecorated my room, it was all Yankee posters from Yankee Magazine, which I tore out of Yankee Magazine and just put on my wall. And there's still some remaining ones here and there, like some laminated pictures of, not pictures, laminated front covers from different championships I have on my wall. And the Derek Jeter is still up there, but I think everything else is gone at this point. But it's all been replaced by
that's my first foray into a website for him. I got it for him and built it for him for his birth and everything, and probably maintain it for the next 10 or 15 years till it's ready to hand over to him, and you know, he tears it down or does whatever he wants with it. But that's pretty much it
for music, you know.
Exactly. No MySpace for me. I'm when I'm on the internet, I'm on the forums. So
do you have a comic space or?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Just out of curiosity. That's all.
You know, I like to keep a low profile.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on Netflix. If you want, there's a Netflix Friends forum thread. If you want to add me to your friends list, and I will add you. And I'm on the forums. Say if you want to PM me, say hi, and definitely support me and vote for me.
Yes,
number
indeed.
6.
Yes, indeed.
In the Geekspeak Challenge. And real quick, I just want to thank you, Ian, for giving me the opportunity. Podcasting is something I've always wanted to do, and it's been a treat to talk to you. And I just wanted to thank all the people on the forum, all the CGS West Coast who have been supporting me in my bid to become your co-host.
Well, the pleasure's all mine, man. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. Like, I mean, I could talk to you for hours, and it's just it's great to find a kindred geek spirit out there in the world who not only is a geek but also knows that Ozma exists.
Yes, a great band.
Yeah, there's this band called Ozma. All right, enough already, but but definitely, man. Thank you so much for being on the episode, man. And even if you don't win the challenge, we'll definitely have you back on at some point for a showcase spotlight.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks for having me. Maybe we can do a music spotlight on unsung bands.
Well, I'd certainly love it, and I'd probably actually contact Daniel Brummel and ask him if I could use his stuff.
Oh, that would be. We could just interview them. Oh, I'm sure they would love to we'd have an interview.
You know, I actually had an interview with Harvey Danger once.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I assume you've heard of them, right? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, yeah. The flagpole sitta.
Mm-hmm. If you go back to Geekspeak, I think it's episode maybe 6 or something like that, I have a full interview with Sean Nelson on the album he released online exclusively, the Little by Little album, which is available via torrent and via zip file on their website.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. HarveyDanger.com. Just to let everybody know. All right. So yeah, I guess we're pretty much done here. So let's wrap this baby up. The email address for the Geekspeak report is speakgeekspeak@gmail.com. That's SPEAK@gmail.com. You can check us out on the comicforums.com, graciously hosted by Comic Geekspeak guys over at comicgeekspeak.com. It's a subforum on the Comic Timing Forum, so go ahead and check that out. Music for the show is provided by the Podshow Podsafe Music Network over at music.podshow.com, and also provided by Deluxe, Pixie Tricks, Shonen Samurai, Zircon, and Jeffrey Tosser. And you can find their stuff and a whole lot more over at ocremix.org. And, of course, music provided by Anna Managuchi over at myspace.com/AnnaManaguchi. Give us your iTunes reviews and podcast Alley and Dig and all that, and we're pretty much done. So one more thank you to you, Troy, and definitely everybody out there. Make sure to vote for you.
Thanks a lot, Ian.
All right, and have a great week. Enjoy your geek, and we'll see you for tomorrow for the next part of the Geekspeak Co-Host Challenge. Take care, everybody.
See, that's what I need to do. I still have the original 40 gig on mine, and my friend Josh, he bought the same computer that I did about 4 or 5 months before I did, and his died about a year and a half ago. The screen totally went dark. Just exactly, it sounds like the exact same thing.
Right.
But all that stuff's internal, so he ended up buying a new laptop.
Reminds me of my old days of when I had a former 575 Macintosh. For years, I couldn't use MP3s. I didn't know what an MP3 was.
Wow.
So it was like right before the major upgrade for like MP3s and stuff. Well, it had an internal CD drive and not a CDR drive. And my disk drive, my regular floppy disk drive, broke. I had no way of getting stuff off the computer. Once I reconnect the 28.8 modem and deal with that. And eventually I was just like, there's nothing really that important on it. So I just got rid of it. And since then I've been on this.
Sounds good.
Woot.
What's the news?
That would be the Batman Brave and the Bold.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry about that. I was like, what are you talking about?
It's okay. I was just throwing over to you.
Oh, okay. I'm unaccustomed to your podcasting ways.
Okay. Well, you know, Mr. Co-host, if you're going to be a co-host, you have to learn these sort of things, and you gotta learn the cues, man.
Well, I'm definitely want to be learning at the feet of the master here. So.